having people want to buy. Okay.
Yep.
And kind of closing themselves. So
yeah, and it doesn't work out perfectly every single time. So of course you need to, actually know how to close somebody. If it's a good fit for them and you're having integrity, obviously you want to be able to close them effectively. And not everybody says yes right away, so you definitely want to know how to overcome objections. And some people are right on the line, and you want to be able to negotiate without giving away the farm. So those are a lot of things that we're going to be covering in this episode. And one thing I just really want you to understand when it comes to this is being revenue focused inside of your business. I think a lot of times we get caught up in the day-to-day tasks that we have to do, and a lot of times whenever we don't want to do anything, this is where mindset will come in later, but a lot of times whenever we don't want to do something, we put it off, and it never gets done. And that's usually the thing that we need to do to move the business forward and move the needle. And what's weird is we end up doing these like checklists. I don't know if you do checklists at all. I still do checklists. So there's certain things that need to get done. But if it's not revenue focused, it gets put on the back burner. I'll have to-do lists that will sit there for a week because I just spent 3 days on doing something that's going to help me move the needle in my business.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's obviously critical. And so on the aspect of being revenue focused, building actual relationships and caring about the people who you're working with, right?
Yeah. Some of my best friends today are past customers. It's like you build that relationship and they end up, lasting a lot longer. And that's something that a guy that we used to work with told me. He goes, he had a boss one time that said, if you can make a friend, you make a sale.
Yeah.
And it's just like having a conversation with a friend. And that's something that I call conversational dancing. It's like, what is conversational dancing? It's like a dance. You got two partners. You got to have two partners. One person has to be the leader, right? They're leading. I'm the leader. He's making everything look good. She's making everything look good. But you got to have two partners. And the dance has to, like a waltz, right? You have your steps planned. But obviously everything can change in the moment and you can modify it. That's why some people win waltzing competitions more than other people because they've modified a little bit different, right? And that's how a conversation goes. It should flow. It should be nice. It should go anywhere it needs to go, but you're still following a pattern so that they can discover for themselves that they want to do business with you.
And what about so one thing that I know that you've seen before, I've seen before, is the sales guy that won't stop talking. He doesn't know how to listen.
Yeah.
And we've all heard, anyone who's been in sales or sold for their own business knows the 80-20 rule, right?
Yeah.
As far as you should be listening 80% of the time and speaking 20% of the time. But how many salespeople actually do it?
Not a lot. There's a lot of things that a lot of salespeople don't do. And even business owners, being the salesperson in their business, don't do. And, I used to walk by and just scream, "Shut up!" Just shut up. That's what you got to do sometimes. You got to tell yourself to shut up because otherwise you're going to keep talking and rambling as fast as I'm talking, and the people on the other line aren't even going to be listening to you anyway because they can't understand because you're talking too fast. Don't do it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
You're totally right.
There's a thing, and if you think about how the brain works, and this is something I get into a little bit more in the mindset aspect too, is our brain is constantly going. And if you've never noticed this about yourself, test yourself because you're a human being. So you do this. Nobody is immune to this. When somebody else is talking to you, what do you have going on in your brain? You're talking to yourself. You're like, I never talk to myself. Okay, quiet for a second. All right, what were you just thinking? That's you talking to yourself. Yeah. What are you saying as somebody else is talking?